It is mid-March, and the weather is finally starting to break here in the Midwest. It's about the mid-50s or so. So I thought I would get out and do a little ride. Not really going to be a long ride, but this is really second time out so far this year on the RadCity. My wife and I did a little 2-mile loop the other day when the weather was so nice. And it cooled right back off, and we've had rain and more rain and wintry mixes coming later on this week. So I thought I would just get out a little bit today while I could. Really just making sure that everything's working on the bike after having it sit in the garage all winter, which really seemed to be fine. It doesn't get terribly cold here in the Midwest, at least northern Indiana. Shouldn't say North Indiana, north of Indianapolis. We do get some weather down in single digits, but not for prolonged. So keeping the bikes in the garage really isn't that big of an issue. I do take the batteries off and store those in the house, and they showed no ill effect of not being used for a couple months. So one thing I did get that I want to talk a little bit about is my thumb throttle. So I bought a attachment that goes on the twist throttle. And you just use your thumb, slide down, and now I've engaged my throttle. And what I like about it is it allows me to keep my hands on my handlebars. One thing I did find last year is, especially when you're starting from a dead stop, where I wanted to use the throttle, when you're grabbing your finger and thumb and twisting, you're also moving your hand, and sometimes you get a little squirrely and shaky on the takeoffs, whereas this, I can keep my hand firmly planted on the handlebar with a good grip on the bike, and then I just take my thumb and push down, and off we go. I saw this attachment on a YouTuber's video, Alaska John, who has some incredible rides in I think Anchorage, Alaska. And I emailed him and just said, hey, where'd you get that thumb throttle? And he told me a company called 1859 Northwest, and ordered it on Sunday. Got one for me, one for my wife, and some battery caps to protect the terminals, and had them about 3 days later. And nice little handwritten note from the couple that make them. And it fits well. Might have to adjust its positioning a little bit. I just kind of threw it on the other day, and it was really my first time out with it to kind of see how it works. But it fits really well. It's got a nice little Velcro strap, so you can cinch down the guide onto the throttle. But I definitely like it. And what I like about it is it's bigger than some of the other ones I've seen, and it feels a little bit more solid. So I just kind of feel like it's going to hold up a lot better for the use. And with the size too, I'm not having to take my eyes off to find it, which is nice. But yeah, so far really like it. And the other thing I have coming, and it should be here Monday, I went ahead and bought some Sena R1 Evo helmets for my wife and I. She never really used to ride with me, and a couple times that we would ride, kind of a little bit of a pain because she was so slow and I would always want to go faster. But got her the RadCity step through as well, so we both have the same bike, so she's riding a lot more. And riding on these trails is kind of hard to be double file. Thank you. So, and before, you know, you kind of did the old couples communication where you just yell at one another. And when you're near a road with traffic, it can be a little bit of a pain to hear, especially for somebody like me. My voice just does not carry, which is why I use the bell all the time, because when I'm trying to announce myself, nobody can hear me, but the bell works a lot better. So after reviewing, Sena's seem to get really good reviews, so I'm really kind of anxious to get those and give those a try, so that we can, you know, go on some nice rides and be able to actually have a conversation. I know some people might think that they're a little pricey, but I don't know, they didn't seem that bad to me compared to when you look at a good quality bike helmet just on its own. You know, you can spend quite a bit of money. And honestly, the safety of being able to talk to one another too. On some of the trails that we'll be riding this summer, we have to cross some fairly busy streets. I mean, not terribly bad, but it is good when you can kind of let your partner know your intentions of, hey, you know, stop or keep going or left, right. You know, we're warned for a car or another passing bicyclist or something to that effect. So it is a little chilly, not terrible, but I'm anxious for the weather to start warming up a little bit. We got our bikes. She got hers in October, I got mine in November. So we only got a couple rides in before the weather hit. So I'm anxious to ride these in some nicer weather, and then also explore some of the other bike paths in and around Carmel and Noblesville, Westfield, Fishers. Bike path network has really grown over the last couple of years, and I have one ride that I'm really anxious to try this summer, going up to Potter's Bridge, which is a covered bridge across the White River. I've discovered that with some enhancements they've made on the bike trails, I can actually ride all the way up there on bike paths, which is my preferred travel route. Try to stay off the roads and just go nice and easy and enjoy the rides, enjoy the views. And I know a couple people have commented on some of my first videos about the readout, and I know it's pretty much impossible to read, so I'll have to figure out, you know, maybe a better way to capture my speeds and kind of what's going on with the bike. But I really don't do anything crazy. Here in Indiana, it's pretty flat. So I pretty much ride in pedal assist 1. So pedal assist 1, usually I've got my gear in either 5 or 6, and that gets me a nice easy 15-mile-an-hour pace. I know a lot of folks like to figure out how to get more speed out of these bikes, and quite honestly, I'm perfectly content at 15 miles an hour. It's a nice pace. It's a little bit faster than I would go on my Trek non-electric bike. So I've already gained a couple miles an hour just casually. And then distance-wise, you know, by doing that pass level, I get a lot more mileage. So it really increases the range. And both my wife and I really don't use our throttles all that much. Usually just for a little boost on the hills. And then when we're starting from a dead stop, especially when we're trying to cross some of the busier streets. So I am nearing the 100-mile mark on the bike. I would say probably by my next ride, I will be at the 100-mile mark. So here's a hill in my area. So let's use a little throttle. And I'm still pedaling. I don't use exclusively throttle, and I'm not cranking the throttle down all the way. I'm just giving myself enough of a boost. Yeah. Oh. Thumb throttle works perfect. I can tell that that's one little investment I'm gonna like. I think it was on sale for like 18 bucks, free shipping. A lot of people out enjoying the day. Another little hill here, give it some throttle. Yeah, so far little hills here that I have around me, the city step through does fine. Plenty of power to get up the hill. Again, I am pedaling some. A lot of times I will downshift, a little higher gear to pedal as much as I can. But you know, for short rides, and I got plenty of power in the battery. I actually just got done taking my dog for a walk, so I've already done about a 2.5 mile walk prior to hopping on the bike, so legs are definitely feeling it a little bit. So that's gonna wrap up this ride. You will see more as the weather warms up. Don't know how much. I'll probably mix of kind of vlog style versus just pure riding style. Want to really kind of explore the trail system this summer. Do a couple rides. Things open up. Maybe try to ride to the farmer's market, grocery stores. A little bit more of that this year. Try to get that on film. So we will see you at the next video.